Hi, friends. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the third episode of my chat show Inside Out. And my guest for the day is Deepak CM. Deepak is one of the finest wicketkeeper batsmen produced by Kerala. Deepak, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Vipin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Deepak. Thanks for coming. In fact, when I look at my first two guests, both of them were from the corporate side, they were business leaders. So, I'm really excited to have a sportsman in my third episode.
Yeah, even whenever I even see, you had called me a few days back, and I felt I should be there, and I
Thank you.
know you before also, so it
Yes, Deepak.
gives me a
I'll give you a little bit of background actually. 10 days back, when I was browsing through Facebook, I happened to see one of the articles, which was written about you. So that was the time when I thought, okay, Deepak should be on my show. I knew you as a cricketer. I knew that you were one of the players who played for Ranji Trophy for Kerala. So apart from that, I didn't actually know much about your development as a player. What you were doing and all these things. So that article was a lot of insights to me, and so I thought let this be an opportunity for our guests to also know more about you and also about cricket in general. So my our discussions are going to be definitely around about cricket as a game, and in such a way that it benefits our viewers to know
okay,
more about the game itself.
okay.
So Deepak, so the start I understand was from Chittoor Cricket Club.
Yes, I am from Chittoor, and this club, the Nets, is right opposite to my house. So my father was one of the founder members of the club. He used to be a
Mhm.
club level cricketer. He played for Chittoor as well as for his employer FSCT. So
Okay.
he used to take me and my brother to the Nets very regularly when we were say maybe 7 or 8 years old,
Mhm.
and we used to watch our seniors play, and we just got involved, and that it was a natural process. We just got into the team.
Okay. So cricket was always in the blood.
Yeah, not only cricket, but we were good at other sports also. My father he's an ardent sports fan,
Okay.
badminton, football, hockey, everything. So he basically made us play everything. So we enjoyed everything, but somehow we picked up cricket.
So Deepak, I am sure that the your club, uh, Swantons played a big role in terms of developing you as a professional cricketer. And I can also, when I look at the players who played for this club, Swantons, I think it's possibly one of the best club who produced the best of the talent from Kerala. So what is so special
Yes.
about Swantons?
Uh, it was a club that was formed long back, and we were. Whenever I say about cricket, my brother is always involved, so it's always we for me. So my father, since he was in FACT, he was working along with Mr. N.S. Krishnan, and he is a founder member of Swantons, and he is a legendary coach of Kerala, and he was the main man behind Swantons. So Swantons had a history. There were many players like K. Jairam, Soman. There were many cricketers from Swantons, and so my father thought it was a better thing that after a while I played for Chittoor CC, and we were playing for Kerala at under 13s. So he thought, okay, as a next level to develop, it was better to go to a place which had a better culture. So he had no second thoughts because he knew Krishnan sir. So we
Hmm.
just went to Swantons, and we just got there, and then it's like
Okay.
everything was on a uh, everything got better for us.
Very good. So, at what age you actually started playing cricket ball? Hardball cricket.
Maybe 9 or 10. I don't remember actually. It was maybe 9 or 10, and I was taken to a place. There were a lot of people around. I didn't know much about it. I used to go to nets, but suddenly my father said we have to go somewhere, and he picked me and my brother. We went to a place. There were a lot of people around with cricket gear. We didn't know what was happening. It was a district trials under 13. So and we were picked, both of us. So it was a
Okay.
surprise for both of us. We didn't know when we came back. I asked my father what is it. So he said it's a district trials. He explained what it is.
Okay. Mm. So Deepak, when I look at your career, you started as I read this in that particular article about you. You started as a leg spinner and then you transformed it to a wicket keeper. So what was that change?
There were few things involved because both of us, me and my brother, both were leg spinners. We were all
Hmm.
rounders. So our
Okay.
career paths were like clashing at that point of time. So while we were playing under 13, I used to get into the state team. He was always in the reserves. And there was a time when I played under 13, and the next year I was almost a certainty in the team because I was doing well in the selection matches, and our
Hmm.
keeper didn't turn up for the last match.
Okay. Hmm.
So since the selectors thought that I would get into the team, they just asked me if you could fill in the role, and I did. And somehow I thought, okay. And when I went back to the club, Krishnan sir also said, okay, I think you should just continue with it. So that's how I became a wicket keeper.
Okay. So, meaning, you had practice keeping earlier, or was it like you
No, no, no. That
just
was the
grew
first
up
time I wore a
watching?
glove. That was the first time I wore a
Oh,
glove because I was
okay.
a leg spinner till then. I even played
Okay.
2 years
Okay.
of under 13 state for Kerala, like as a leg spinner all rounder.
Okay. 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 So I can think something parallel to what happened to Rahul Dravid.
There
He
are
was
many.
also.
It's always like this because at junior level we never know what to do. We just see something, we start, and after a while we end up being something else.
Very true. In fact, today itself, I heard an interview. I think it was an interview with Jadeja, where he was saying Sachin Tendulkar wanted to be a very fast bowler. That was one of his ambitions. So he was talking a
Yeah,
lot about how cricketers, exactly to what you said now. Very similar to what you said now. Cricketers start with a different ambition. In fact, Ganguly wanted to be a fast bowler. So you know,
there are
so
many
people.
instances like similarly, and in Swantons there are many such cases. uh, there are many people who have come in as a fast bowler or a medium pacer, but then they
Mhm.
progress to be a batsman because NS Krishnan sir was good at molding a batsman. He was more
Okay.
of a batsman coach. So there are
Mhm.
my senior cricketers like Ajay Kudua, Sorab,
Mhm.
all very established cricketers of Kerala. They all started their careers as a fast bowler, medium pacer, and then they
Okay.
became a batsman.
Okay. I think the coach will also have a very important role in identifying, what a particular guy is good at, and then, put him into the right track. Am I right?
Definitely, definitely, yes.
Okay. So tell me something about your Ranji experience. I have also in that article read that, you had played with Venkatesh Prasad and Sunil Joshi and all in one of your early matches. So how was it like playing with those, national level players? What was your experience when you look back now?
That was like even before the Ranji Trophy debut because I made my first senior appearance in the one days. So that was a
Okay.
year before my Ranji Trophy debut. So that was the time I got picked after my junior level performances, and there we had to play against Karnataka. So all these star walls were there. So I just don't think there was nothing so great about that. I didn't feel that great about it because my ambition was always to get to the Ranji Trophy team. So the one days were there, all the stars were playing, but that just
Hmm.
got over and being a one day tournament. And in those
Hmm.
days, the one day tournament just finished in 5 6 days. So there was nothing to think about. You just go in, get to the team, play, go back home.
Hmm. Okay. In fact, you started a couple of centuries, right?
No, not in the Ranji Trophy. In junior level, under 22, I got a couple of hundreds against Karnataka and Goa. So I got into the Ranji Trophy team, and my debut was against Services. So in that match, we had a good game. Ajay Kudua and Srikumar, both of them got hundreds. So I basically didn't get a chance to bat. I came in just before we declared. I got some 15 or 16 runs. But in the next match, we were playing Vidarbha, and I was asked if I could open because we needed a extra bowler in the team. So the team management asked me if I could open. I opened and I got 100. So that's how
Okay.
things changed.
Uh, so when you look at now, you always like to bat more, or when you started bowling, which where your heart lies where actually, was it in batting or in bowling? You told me about the keeping how it happened, but when you started off, what were your focus? What was your focus?
There was nothing. There were no such thoughts when I started off. It was like whatever my father used to tell, I used to do it, and whatever my seniors at Chittoor Cricket Club when they used to tell me many things. So I just followed that. I didn't know which one to pick or anything. They asked me to bowl, I would bowl. They asked me to bat, I would bat. And after a certain point of time, I became a wicket keeper. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, after maybe when I was 16, 17, my focus was more on my batting, and keeping was uh, the second thing. Uh,
Okay.
so that was maybe I was more focused on my batting.
Okay. Okay. Deepak, when I look at our growing up years, one of the biggest issues, I used to kind of live for cricket. Obviously, I didn't reach anywhere close to your level, but we used to play for school and college and all these things. One of the biggest challenges which we faced was the non-availability of grounds and good wickets to play. I grew up in Calicut. After my graduation, I was in Calicut. So the only turf wicket I remember was in REC at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah.
And our district trials all used to happen in Mananjara Maidanam at that point in time. So those are my small little memories. What do you think for the game to develop? We need to have a lot more spaces, or how is the scene now? Do we have more playing areas, more grounds?
The scene is better. Like we have more grounds. The infrastructure has definitely developed in Kerala. That is in when you look at the grounds. There are many grounds. I think there are first class quality grounds in almost all the districts now in Kerala. But the question is about the practice facilities. Practice facilities is still like not that developed. So even if we have good grounds, the concern now is to develop the practice facilities. We don't have turf wickets to practice on. Still, all our players, all the Ranji Trophy stars, even Sanju, they all practice on concrete wickets. So that is an area where we need to now develop.
Okay, but even I think college level we should have good grounds, right? That's when we really get quality players from all these colleges and universities, right?
Definitely, that is one thing we always cricketers we always discuss. When you go to other states, there are many schools and many colleges that have grounds. So there is a lot of cricket being played. But in Kerala, we have this issue with the space. It's a small state. It is so the problem is that we don't have grounds in all the colleges. They would have no, they would not even have grounds for football. It would be small grounds, even the schools. So that is one
Mhm.
thing which is I feel affecting even football as well nowadays.
Mhm. Mm. But football, we can see now all these small, turfs available everywhere, right? I think that's doing a lot of good.
I don't think all those turfs are doing good for football. That is doing good for all the corporate, like you and me, who
Ah.
have been working somewhere.
Mhm.
After
Mhm.
office, we can go and play. But I don't think that
Mhm.
is helping juniors in developing their football skills.
Oh, okay, that's your point of view. Okay, so one more question in that regard. Do you think maybe KCA should have some efforts in developing more grounds and all these things, or is it not in their hands?
No, KCA, their priority was to get the grounds, better grounds in shape first. So that they have done. They have done a huge task. I think there is no other state in India which has done so much regarding infrastructure is concerned. Like there are even states which have half the number of grounds, and they are huge states. So in that level, Kerala is actually in the forefront. But turf wickets, yes, definitely. I think now the focus will be shifting to creating more practice facilities on turf wickets.
Mhm. Okay. How do you see the prospects of, or how's the current Kerala cricket team, at Ranji level now, or which are the areas to probably develop, or I don't know, just to understand where we stand.
Yeah, Kerala, maybe like till the mid 90s, we also used to participate. It was that sort of a team. But after, in the mid 90s, when Anantapatnab, Ram Prakash, Firoz Rashid, all those stalwarts arrived, we started picking up. Kerala was like on the growth phase. And after that, there was Tinu who came into the international scene late in the, I mean, at 1999, 2000, that time. And soon Srishan followed. And Kerala became a powerhouse then. After that, there were players like Sri Kumar Nair, Rohan Prem, Jagadish, Soni Charwatu. So team gradually picked up, gradually became. We started improving. We always used to get into the next stage, like the elite stage. The last 2 years were brilliant. Like we got into the quarterfinals, then into the semi-finals. But unfortunately, we had a poor season last year. But overall, when you consider Kerala cricket, it is definitely a force to reckon with. If you consider all the Ranji Trophy teams.
Okay, okay, very good. And now, when I look at our growing age and the current scenario, I can see a lot of people, young kids, taking up football as their preferred sport. What are your comments on that? What are your thoughts on that? Is football kind of taking the space what cricket used to be in India, or what are your thoughts on that?
I feel this should have happened bit more earlier, because cricket was the only sport that was active, that was getting all the attention, all the money, everything. But if you see, if cricket has to be healthy and active, other sports also should develop. Because what happens is, after a point of time, the people start dropping out from cricket, because everybody is into cricket. Only say we always say only 11 can play. There are millions following cricket, but who are good at other sports. So since other sports are not developed in India, they come to cricket because they think only there is a career only in cricket. So that is changing a bit now. So people who are good at football, they are going to football. Volleyball is developing, hockey is developing, badminton has developed big time. So
Oh,
actually, what is happening is, if you look at cricket, Indian cricket team is the best in the business now. So it has not gone down. So it has improved because other sports is also improving.
true, true. So it can. There's a space for every game to kind of.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. It helps. If other games develop, it definitely helps cricket also.
Hmm, good,
Because
good
the
to know.
cream comes into cricket, because those who are talented to play cricket, they would come to cricket. Others would pick their game as per their talent.
Okay, okay. Deepak, some thoughts about the league system, district league system. How does it function?
In Kerala, there is league in all the districts, but the quality is not that good at certain places. People look forward to play in Ernakulam and Trivandrum. They are the most sought after leagues in Kerala, and the best league, according to me, is run in Ernakulam, where the teams are very competitive. The district association, they are very passionate about conducting. It's a matter of pride for them, so they conduct it at a very good standard. The only concern is that the number of grounds in Cochin is very less. We just depend on two grounds, and sometimes it's like after a point of time the wickets deteriorate. That's the only concern.
So all these are played in turf wickets, not in mat, right? Not mat wickets.
In Ernakulam now, all the divisions are being played on turf wickets.
Okay. Oh yeah. Since I talked about match, in our growing up days, most of the matches used to happen on mat wickets. So is it good or bad to play on matting wickets? Does it help a batsman possibly to play a slightly higher bounce, or what are your thoughts on playing in match?
It's good if at your growing stage, not after, like when you get into a Ranji Trophy level. It is better
Mm-hmm.
you play on turf, because you are going to play on turf anyway. All the state and Ranji Trophy matches you are going to play on turf. So to go to a matting wicket, playing regularly on a matting wicket and coming back to a turf wicket is not going to be easy to adapt. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're growing up, when you're learning cricket, batting wicket also helps, because as you said, you can play more on back foot. That's what Rahul Dravid actually, his point of view is that all the under 13s and under 16s should play on matting wicket, and when you grow up into the under 19 level, then you can play on turf. So currently, I think the under 13, under 14s are being played on matting wickets.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. So I can see that currently the cricket has changed a lot from what my first memory of cricket should be. I think 1987 Reliance World Cup. I think that's the time when I started watching cricket. See, I clearly remember that World Cup, and from that point onwards, I was kind of a very regular watch. Watch. I used to watch almost every match, even in Australia. I used to wake up early in the morning to watch all those matches. But game has changed a lot. Now it's
Yes, yes.
become like a very batsman's game. So what I just want to know your thoughts. One, was it like the need of the hour? Like people really want to have more entertainment, and people watch cricket for different reasons now. Possibly to have some quick kind of to get a high, seeing some hitting all over the place, or the kind of admiration what Test cricket used to have. Is it deteriorating? So that's one part of my question. The second part of my question is, are good bowlers not getting what they actually deserve?
Uh, I feel 2020 has changed cricket um, a lot, because earlier there used to be draw matches, test matches used to get draw. Now there are, I don't think, unless there's a rain interrupted match, there's a draw result. It's always a win or loss. So that has changed because a game has become very aggressive now. So Test cricket, I think the rules are good, but for me the rules in under with the T20 and ODIs, I think they are killing the bowlers because now there are rules where you need to have five people inside the ring in between 10 over number 11 and 40. And so if you see all the matches going like three teams getting 300, 350, and the other team chasing it down easily. So
Hmm.
there is basically no role for the bowler. So that I think has killed. But the reason for changing that rule was that people felt that in those overs between 11 and 40, because there was an extra field outside, the game was slowing down a bit. That so the audiences, the viewers, it was getting a bit more of boring because they are used to the T20 culture. So that was why that rule changed. But it's like there are two thoughts. One set says that okay, because it's boring, you need to have that new rule. But people like me say, okay, because of the new rule, the bowlers are getting affected. It's for me, the bowlers are getting affected. It's a batsman's game for only in T20 and ODIs.
Hmm. Yeah. So what I understand is cricket changed for the audience.
Yes,
It's
yes.
shaped up in such a way that the game suits the current set of audience.
In fact, all the games are trying to adapt to the audience's interest. If you see badminton, also they have changed the rules. So in tennis, there was a stage where the last set used to go like till say 20 to 20. We used to watch Wimbledon that way, but that has also changed now. There's a tiebreaker there. So people, it's being changed for the audience's preferences. It's a trial and error. Some things work, some things don't. People change it back again. So I think it's time to change the rule of that extra fielder being placed
Hmm.
inside the 30-yard circle for when you consider a white ball cricket.
Hmm. So, do you favor the day-night Test cricket? What are your thoughts on that?
There's not been that many number of matches to actually comment on, uh, and since I've not played that, I don't know how it feels, uh, how it feels like for the players. But as far as I've heard from, in the interviews, it's very difficult to pick the ball and also to handle the ball, the
The pink
conditions.
ball.
People are getting used to it. Maybe after a while they'll also get used. Initially, when we started T20, there were lots of complaints like people used to like say what format is it, but now people love watching T20. So maybe day night cricket is going to be the future.
Yeah, and also people say that spending 5 days in a stadium to watch a match seems to be, unless and until you are a hardcore romantic of the game, uh, and if you are on your own, people who are working in different companies, they find it very difficult to spend
No,
five
but
days in a.
things have changed because now
Hmm.
there is a platform where you can see everything on your handset. So earlier it was like people used to go to the stadiums. Later people used to watch on the televisions, and there was a stage when we used to say okay, people are losing interest, but I don't think people have lost their interest because when there is a match, even when I was working, I used to keep my phone aside with the match running live, and I just used to keep checking at it. So it's like
Hmm.
I don't think it has changed. The technology has developed, and I think so we would see lesser number of people in the stadiums, but more people watching it on the handsets.
Hmm. Deepak, there are a lot of kids who are taking cricket and many other sports. Let's talk specifically about cricket in this case. So, people who are not able to make to the top level, meaning if they don't get an IPL contract or if they don't, let's say, a level below Ranji, So, people who actually play that level, even then they will have to kind of put a lot of efforts to reach there, spend a lot of their time, dedicate a lot of their time to achieve where they have achieved. uh, what are the career prospects for them, if they don't make the top level?
That's a very sad topic you've entered because the career prospects in cricket, as you said, is only there if you reach that elite level. When you reach that Ranji Trophy level or the when you get a land an IPL contract. For those who are not there, those who are below that, it's a struggle. That's when coaches always insist on you to focus on your studies as well, so that even if you don't make it to that level, you can always just drop out and go after a career, look for a career elsewhere. That's what it's been happening, unfortunately, in Kerala. In other states like Mumbai or a Bangalore or a Chennai, there you get jobs in corporates.
Mm.
Corporates give jobs, in fact, for cricketers. So even if you don't, if in Chennai, even if you don't play first class, they are paid well. So there are so many cricketers pursuing cricket, but in Kerala, it's not that way. Once your age category is over, the last age category is under 23. Once you are not there in the Ranji Trophy after under 23, you have to quit. You don't have any other choice because your parents would be very anxious. They would ask ask you to quit. That is how most of the careers in Kerala are ending.
Mm. So that's a little sad scene.
That's a
Maybe
sad scene because corporates in Kerala, I feel, have not started looking at sports. So they are still a bit shy. I think it's high time that sports are being looked. In football also, it's the same thing. Earlier, we used to have Kerala Police, Titanium, KSCB, all used to have superb teams. But these days, it's like everything is depending on Kerala Blasters.
Mhm. Yeah, but I'm a little surprised because when more and more people are taking serious sports, ideally there should be opportunity for people and players at different levels.
Absolutely,
Little
absolutely.
know that, yeah. So talking about IPL, do you think what are your thoughts on IPL? Are you an IPL fan? Let me put it that way.
Initially I had my doubts because whenever new thing comes, you would always look at it with a bit of a suspicion. But I think IPL has uh, helped Indian cricket immensely because there are earlier it used to be like India used to have a team, but the bench strength was not that great. Couple of injuries, it's sad. The new guys coming in would be a struggle for them, but it's not that way now. We have there are times when we feel that we can field two or three teams because our cricket, our bench strength is that good. Even the India A team is a solid, strong team. So that is because all these players are getting chance to rub their shoulders with all the big stars like Steve Smith. Everybody is coming. You're playing with Steve Smith one day. Obviously, that will do a huge thing for your confidence.
Hmm. Good, yeah. So and also it gave a lot of opportunity to young players. Somebody who couldn't make it to
Definitely.
the
So
national.
as you said, in Ranji Trophy you have only 15 slots. So what about the others? So others are getting their chance to play. They may not be playing. There are so many cricketers in the squad. There are
Mm,
players. The IPL teams have 25-member squad. So there are
mm,
many cricketers who are unknown quantities. They are picked
mm.
in the squad. Even they get remuneration. So their careers are also looked after.
And I think if you look at the entire cricket league system in the world, IPL should be the best, right, in terms of the following and also the quality of the game.
Definitely, it is the best. Yes, because all the cream players from overseas also they prefer to come to India and play because of the amount of money involved and the
Mm,
passion and the crowds involved. And also,
mm,
all the Indian stars they are not allowed to play abroad. They are only allowed to play the IPL. So, uh, for players like Steve Smith or Kane Williamson, if they want to rub shoulders with the Virat Kohli, they have to come to IPL. So they
mm,
also consider it as a privilege.
mm. Okay, now let us go to England for a while. Looking at the county system, do you think that people in India, people at least who played a Ranji Trophy level, can they dream of having some kind of a short stint in any of the counties, or how does it
Uh,
work?
no, in counties it is very difficult for a Ranji Trophy level cricketer to play because there they have a rule that restricts overseas cricketers. There are only a limited number of counties, and only one overseas player is allowed in the county to play at a time. So it is very difficult because they will go for all the big stars from international scene. So, but there are opportunities in the next level. There are teams below the county and club cricket, which is very good. The infrastructure is very good. The standard is superb. There are many players. I have played 2 years of club cricket in England. There are many players from Mumbai, Hyderabad. They go to England. They play club cricket there. They earn decent money, and that's how they still. Uh, as I said, here there's an opportunity. It's similar where it's an opportunity to play in England to make money so that the careers can be prolonged.
So when you say club cricket, what is that? It's not a county. I mean,
It's
when you
not
say it,
county.
it's
It's just like our club cricket where we have the district leagues. There
okay,
also the
okay,
counties have their leagues. They have their
okay,
first division, second division, third division leagues. So all these teams are allowed to take one overseas professional.
okay, okay. I understood. Yeah. So that's a good news. If even if our kids get an opportunity to play in these clubs, that the exposure which they get is huge. In terms of different conditions.
Definitely is,
The
but there are rules that keeps changing. So now there is a rule that you have to play at least five first class games to get a visa. So there are rules that are becoming tougher, but still there are opportunities.
very good to know that. Yeah. So Deepak, who's your favorite batsman?
Current or all time.
Let us talk both. I want to know who's your current favorite and all-time favorite.
My all time favorite is Brian Lara.
Okay.
Current favorite, I don't know. I need to think about it. Because
Are you left?
sorry,
Are you a left-hand batsman?
no. I'm a right hand batsman. But I love watching Lara. But all these lockdown days, I watched almost all his innings on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also one of the big fans of Lara.
Uh,
The way his bat lift and the flow of the shots. Something which is possibly
it
not
is, it
seen
is.
in any of the cricketers.
He was not that
But
consistent when you consider Ponting or Tendulkar, but the records and the huge runs that he has got and the match-winning knocks he has played, it's amazing.
exactly, exactly. And who would be your favorite bowler?
Um, Favorite bowler. I used to. I basically used to love the West Indians earlier. I used to stay awake late night to watch. I used to love Curtly Ambrose.
Okay, okay, okay. So you're talking about the 90s and early 2000s West Indies,
Yes, and
not the
I
one.
also used to follow Wasim Akram a lot.
Okay. Wasim was a sheer pleasure to watch. I
Yes,
think
yes,
he's the best left armer, who ever played
definitely,
the
definitely,
game.
definitely. The best swing bowler ever, according to me.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about West Indian bowlers, I still remember, again, I was also a huge fan of West Indies bowling. We heard a lot of stories, the 80s and the late 70s and all. But when I started watching, Malcolm Marshall was about to end, but it was
Hmm.
still a pleasure to watch
Yeah,
Marshall.
yeah.
Then came Walsh and Ambrose. That was a deadly competition to watch. And also I remember this Patrick Patterson, who had a very
Short,
slow
yeah, he
kind
had
of.
a short career, but he was a terror those days.
Yeah, yeah. And coming back to batsmen, I have a liking for Lakshman. Some of the
Lakshman was
grace.
my favorite Indian batsman. Yes,
Okay, okay. The grace in which he played some of the shots, especially on the leg side and all, it was like very.
it was
We don't know what he did in
it
those.
was a
Uh,
pleasure to watch. Yeah, very easy on your eye.
Mhm.
No strain
I
when he bats.
Exactly. I always feel he didn't get what he really deserved, as a
Exactly.
cricketer.
Whenever the team used to struggle, he was the first person to be dropped. That was, according to me, what I felt always.
So Deepak, so what are you doing now? For I know that you are working for the Kerala Cricket Association and doing a lot of things. If you can just explain to us, to our viewers, what do you do now?
Uh, I was working in a corporate sector. I was working with Idea Cellular. I left the job around more than a year back. Now I was doing part-time coaching till then. Now I'm full-time into coaching. I am with Swanton's Cricket Club. We have a new center at Udayamperu near Tripunithura. So when that was constructed, I came out of my job. Now I'm full-time there. And I'm also with the Kerala Cricket Association. They have a new initiative. They just launched it in February, where they have three of us former cricketers. We have a three-member team. It's called the Cricket Talent Committee. We go across and watch all the cricket matches in the state, and we keep track of the players, the current players as well as new prospects. And we send out like analyze their performances, and we give suggestion to the selectors. And there is also a high performance center which was headed by Tinu. So we select the boys who are good. We feel good for playing the next level, we keep a track and we send to the high performance center. So basically, it's like a talent committee, and I go around a lot watching all the matches.
Okay,
And
very
then
good.
I
So
also do a bit of commentary with Star Sports whenever IPL is there or a World Cup is there. All the mega events they do commentary in Malayalam. So I am a Malayalam commentator with the Star Sports.
okay, very good, very good. So, do you really find any exciting talent which is coming up in Kerala? Would you like to name somebody who's like the most exciting, promising player from Kerala?
uh, there are a couple of guys like Vatsal Govind and Varun Nayanar. They played for India under 19 last year. They are really on the radar of our Kerala Ranji Trophy selectors as well. So
Okay.
there are many bowlers coming up, but as two pure batsmen, Kerala has always struggled to get a good batsman. So those are two good batsmen to watch out for.
Very good. Okay. And is anybody knocking the doors of the national team in the current Kerala squad?
Definitely, there is Sanju anytime in the white ball circuit, and Sandeep Warrior, he is there in the India A. So I think Sandeep deserves a chance with whatever the way he has done in the last 2 years. So I think he would get a chance in the near future.
Deepak, it was nice talking to you, and you have given some very good insights for me and for our viewers to know about yourself and cricket in general. I really appreciate you joining me, and I wish you all the best. And let us wish the best to the Kerala cricket as well as for the Indian cricket.
Thank you very much, Vipin. It was a pleasure indeed to talk to you.
Thank you, Deepak. Bye.
Thank you.